Styles. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make these really cool hairbands, and they're like the ones that like tie in the front, and they're stretchy and they have elastic, and they're really cool. So let's get started going on into the tutorial. The materials you will need are some fabric. I'm using this red fabric I got off of Amazon. A ruler. I'm using this clear plastic flexible ruler, and it's 18 inches. Some elastic. I don't have any small elastic, so I'm just using this big elastic and I'm going to cut it up. But if you have smaller elastic, I would recommend using the smaller kind. Some pins. Some fabric scissors. You will also need a sewing machine or a needle and thread. You will also need some type of marker. I'm using this chalk, fabric chalk. You can also use a pencil or like a normal washable marker. You will also need an iron and an ironing board. You don't need these, but it's good to have these if you're not that skilled in sewing. And for the ironing board, if you don't have an ironing board, you can do what I'm doing and just use a cutting board with a pillowcase on top of it, and it works the same. Alright, so the first thing you need to do is take your elastic, and then you just want to measure the size you want it to be around your head and cut a piece out. Now, if you have super thick elastic like me, you're going to want to cut it to about the width, to just like a little bit less than the width that you want your hairband to be. It's going to be like an inch thick, well, an inch and a half thick. So I'm going to cut it at an inch and a quarter and just cut a straight line across. Alright, now for this next step, you're just going to take your fabric. You're going to want to take some elastic or anything you have laying around that's like flexible, and measure out the length of your head, like the circumference of your head, I guess, like that. And then you're gonna want to add like a couple inches on. And you want to keep in mind that the elastic does stretch, so you do need a little extra fabric for the elastic. I'm going to be cutting out 22 inches, so I'm going to mark 22 with my marker, and then cut out. Since I want it to be 1.5 inches wide, I'm going to make it 2 inches wide, so that I have half an inch seam allowance. Because you're going to double it over, you want to multiply the seam allowance and the width of it by 2. Next, you just want to take your ruler and your marker and try to draw a straight line across your fabric. Alright, now once you have done that, you're just going to cut it out. Alright, now that you've cut out your piece, 4 inches by 22 inches. So now that you found the middle, you're just going to take one side of the elastic and pin it down to the fabric. And then you're going to stretch it, pin it in place. Just stretch it to the farthest you can, and then pin it right there. And I know it looks really sloppy right now, but it'll look better. So that's what mine looks like so far. And I'm just going to take this to the sewing machine. And while you're sewing, you're going to stretch the elastic. That way, when you're all done, it's going to be stretched. One helpful thing to remember is that for your sewing machine, make sure you have the same color thread as you do the fabric, so then it doesn't stand out. Now once you have sewn one side of the elastic, you're going to want to sew the other side of the elastic to the fabric. Now that you have sewed both sides of the elastic, so you're going to fold it in half, and then take your scissors and cut like a small angle and you're going to fold the other side in half and do the same thing. Try to get the same angle as the other side. Fold the inside onto the inside and just run either sewing machine all along this edge with the elastic sticking out. A handy tip for this is when you are sewing this, once you get to the elastic part, stretch out the elastic. This will help stretch the opposite side of the fabric as well. Now that you have done that, you are just going to take this and the one that, make sure you left the end open. And you're going to take the end that you didn't leave open and push that inside of itself. Now that you've got that, you should flip it inside out and it will look like this. This is probably like the hardest part of it all. Iron the non-elastic parts of it. You're going to cut 2 small slits at the top edge of it and the bottom edge of it. Fold it inside into the hairband. So you folded the things in, cut off the nub at the top, and now just sew over. Alright, now once you have done that, you're just going to take your hairband and then just tie it up like that. And there you go. There's your hairband. You can double knot it if you want, which is what I'm going to do by taking it off your head and then just double knotting it. And there you go, there's your hairband. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching. Please comment, like, and subscribe this video. I hope you really enjoy this DIY. I really like it. I'm going to be making so many more of these. Thank you so much for watching and talk to you guys later. Bye!